Amazing. Yes.
Good morning. When the mic comes to you, hold the mic 6 inches from your face. The bathroom is back to the left. Put your cell phones on silent. Is that it? Don't lean on the sink. Happy New Year.
And normally someone else does this. That's why Joel doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
And that's why he doesn't work with the hate report anymore. Did you guys hear the hate report? A little bit? Yeah. So, you liked the church last Sunday?
This is my first time here.
Oh, you was the one here last, but you were here, right? Did you enjoy it last Sunday? So you bring a different woman every time, huh? He had another woman with him last Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was my friend.
No, I'm kidding. So, how did you hear about us?
I'm a neighbor. Adriana is my neighbor.
Oh,
I've been
okay.
a neighbor for like 15 years now.
That's amazing.
She told me about you. I was following you on YouTube.
Right.
And I've been wanting to come for like 2 months now. And finally, I just had the chance to nothing. That's it. I'm going with you.
That's right. I'm glad you made it. Yeah. Are we almost ready?
We're streaming now, and we have a couple minutes till we go live.
Oh, okay.
Just making last adjustments.
So is your life getting better?
What's that?
Is your life getting better?
I'm working on it.
You're working on it by doing what?
Trying to get my act together.
By doing what?
Getting all my loose ends straightened out.
By doing what?
Oh, yeah. Getting back, communicating with my daughter-in-law
Or
and
stepdaughter.
getting better.
Your daughter-in-law?
No, I'm stepdaughter.
Oh, you're his stepdaughter. Oh, okay.
We last weekend, after the church, on our ride home, we were able to really get into a conversation, and from there, we just worked on forgiveness. And I think
Oh, you guys didn't like each other before last Sunday? Oh, why not?
for 30 years, I think
You were mad at him for 30 years?
30, about 30 years, I'd say.
Wow.
Life.
And why?
A lot of anger. I think it came because of kind of what you've talked about in the past is I knew that, having a stepfather isn't a real, like my father.
Right.
And that was a problem that I had.
Oh, so he's your stepfather, right?
Yes, it's my stepfather.
Oh, yeah.
So
Big mistake.
there was a lot of anger, a lot of animosity, and I couldn't believe it that last Sunday I was able to truly forgive. Like, when I say forgive, I mean, it was the first time I gave him a hug that I actually had love in there.
Right on.
There was no resistance, there was no anger.
Amazing.
It was amazing.
What
For
made
me,
you
it was-
marry a woman that already had children? You couldn't find nobody else?
It's kind of secondary.
It was secondary? So she was the second woman?
No, she.
And you're like, oh, I'll take this.
No. But I'm saying the children part of it was secondary. It's the person I cared to be with, and she happened to have.
All right,
children,
we're
so-
going to start.
Oh, they were in the way, huh?
Yes.
No.
We're going to start the intro. So,
Oh, okay.
15 seconds, you'll be live.
All right. Everybody know Joel? Yeah. Why do you know him? He got fired? Good morning. Welcome to church. I'm Jesse Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to rebuildingthemand.com/church, and I'll get to your questions and answer. Comments. And good morning, everybody here. Thank you all for coming, and Happy New Year to you. To all of you, really, it's been amazing. And to all of you out there, Happy New Year as well. It's been absolutely an amazing year. Really. It was more than a notion. It was more than I would have ever imagined. And it's going to be interesting to see what next year is like. So we will be here next Sunday, the first Sunday of the new year. if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. And so, but I wish everybody well next year. I hope you had a good year this year too, but especially this year. How was your year on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best? How would you rate your year this year?
8.
No, I'm sorry, I'll come to you. I'm talking to the young lady. Oh, let me tell you this. I have on watermelon socks. Everybody see my watermelon socks? Isn't that nice? I love myself some watermelon. I am not happy without watermelon. Sienna from New Zealand gave me this as a present. I'm going to wear them every day. So I thought this is my first day wearing them, and I'm real happy with them.
Only one pair, right?
Only one pair. I'm going to wear the same pair every day. But anyway, go ahead. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your first name?
Emmy.
Emmy?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best, how would you rate your year this year?
I'll go with a 9.
A 9. That's good. And what made it a 9?
A couple of things. I would say graduated from med school, started residency.
You graduated from med school?
Yes.
So you're a doctor?
I'm a resident, but yeah.
Oh, cool.
Still training right now.
Right on.
I think one of the highlights of my year, which really made it like a 9, was when I discovered your platform.
Yes.
I follow like a lot of conservative politics, but yours was special because you're a black individual, and there's just
Black
not
at the ace of spades.
Yes. And then I think it really enlightened me to the idea of anger in my life, and that a lot of us have it. Most people have it and don't
Yes.
realize it. And
Yeah.
I got around to forgiving my dad, but I would say my year is not a 10 out of 10 because I haven't had a chance to forgive my mom yet.
Why not?
The right environment, I guess.
What's the right environment?
I wanted to just for me and her to be in an isolated space,
Oh.
and I haven't had the chance to do that yet.
So the opportunity has to present
Yes,
itself. Yeah,
but as soon
okay.
as it does, I will.
But be sure to do it.
Yes, I will.
Hopefully you could do it before this year is up, and that way you can start the whole next year fresh. It's going to be amazing. Are you afraid to confront her?
I don't think I'm afraid to confront her. I just can't predict how she's going to respond. I'm pretty sure she'll be angry and she'll deflect.
Yeah.
My dad was very accepting,
Yeah.
almost immediately. I didn't have to say too much after I told him how why I resented him growing
Right.
up, etc. So
Maybe you could take your father with you to deal with your mother.
they're not together, so
Oh,
he's
no, well,
probably
she'll
not.
beat him up too then.
Say it again.
She'll
Yeah,
beat
she
him.
will. Yeah, she will.
But that's going to be the hardest thing you ever have to do in your life.
Yeah.
Once you deal with her, you're going to shake in your boots,
Yes.
you're going to get it done, and you'll be free. And your whole world will change even more so. Any questions? This is your first time, right?
Yes.
Any questions for me while you have the mic?
I wrote them down. I have to ask you later, probably.
Oh,
But
okay.
I-
If you do, let me know.
I will, yeah.
All right, and
Thank you.
welcome, all right?
Thank you so much.
I wish
Nice
you
to meet
well.
Thank you.
So you said you married a woman with children.
Yes.
Take the mic for me. And why? How long you been married to her now?
We've been together for 35 years.
Amazing. And why do you have children by another woman?
No.
And so what, is this your first marriage and only?
No, this is actually my third marriage.
Your third?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder.
Third time's a charm.
Why did you marry a woman with children?
Well, I was interested in the person, and the children came second.
Oh, they were like in the way.
No, they weren't in the way. I'm just saying I got interested in somebody that already had children.
But when you discovered that the kids didn't want you around, how did you feel about that?
I was disappointed that we couldn't, make it a family.
Right.
So the father was still involved. It was kind of an ugly divorce between my wife and her ex-husband, and the children got in the middle of it, and
Of
it
course.
was awkward all the way around.
Why
So-
did you just leave once they got involved? You say, you know what, kids, you're right, I'm leaving.
I don't know. I thought, we could work it out.
No. That's impossible. Do you realize that now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know your stepdaughter was telling me you guys made up last Sunday.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was very nice.
Were you surprised?
Yes, pleasantly surprised, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. Something I've been looking forward to for a long time.
Did you make up with the other kids yet?
I haven't had the chance, no.
Why not?
Well, it's just logistics. My stepson is in Portland, so.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Any questions for me? I know you were here last Sunday for the first time.
No.
You have any questions?
No.
All right. How did it feel to make up with your stepfather? What made you make up with him after so long?
Just recognizing the anger that I had. I had a lot of anger, a lot of resentment. I know that for me, where it started was in a conversation with my mom. I asked her, at what point, because I used to be an annoying kid, and so my mom said around 5 years old is when you started becoming annoying. And then I kind of connected the dots that it was because I was competing for my mother's attention and my stepfather. So in kind of discovering that, I reached out to him to come with me to church on Sunday, and he did. And then, like I said, when we were on our drive home, we parked our car, and I took that opportunity to really just go within and see everything, all the anger, all the resentment that I had and what was attached to it, and I just forgave him for everything. And, like I said, when I did that, I was able to give him a hug, and that hug, for the very first time in my life, I was able to give him a hug that had love in it.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Don't do that again, man. Do not marry. So when you break up with this woman, don't marry another one.
3's enough.
Yeah. Don't marry another one, period. 3 is enough. 3 strikes and you're out. Oh, boy. Do you have any questions for me?
Well, I do have one question that I brought up this morning. When it says in Matthew 3 and the Beatitudes, I think it's called, where it says, blessed are those with poor in spirit, something of that nature. I don't have the Bible with me, but he says poor in spirit. And I just wanted to understand what that meant, because he says that the kingdom is at hand or something of that nature.
Right. Most of the time, people who are angry or unhappy or poor or not in the limelight, they're the one that seem to search for God more so than those who are rich and famous and think they're doing well. And so I'm believing that that's what it means, that you're poor in spirit because you don't have all this other stuff going on, like wealth and all that, and you hate your stepfather. Not anymore. But it makes you cry out to God. I think that's what it means.
And then he makes that the first, beatitude. So, is there an importance to that amongst the other ones, or?
I don't think so. What do you think, Bible go-to guy? This is the Bible go-to guy. He knows everything.
Looking it up. Yeah, you got it on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because I noticed that
You don't search for riches unless you're poor.
Yeah. I noticed that the wealthy people, the entertainers, the people who think they got it all, it's hard for them to find God because they feel like that they are God. They think that this is it. But a person who is suffering, a man or a woman, they tend to search for him easier than someone else. I think that's why it's hard for a rich person to travel through a needle or something, because they think that they are God.
So true.
Yeah.
I have one more question.
Yes.
Is in the Bible, is Adam a beta because he
Beta.
because he ate the apple from
Yes.
Eve? And so if
Every
Adam's
man that listens to the woman is a beta.
so if that was God's first creation, right? How come he created a beta? If God's first creation.
Because God's not going to force you to love him. You have to love him because you want to love him, because forced love is not real love. And Adam decided to listen to the woman because he believed in her. He had gotten into her. And so that's why God allowed him to do it, because Adam decided to believe the lie. And God's not going to force Adam to be with him. Have you ever tried to love somebody and they never loved you back?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Yeah. Like that. So you have to love God You have to love him, and he'll love you. Adam decided to take another road. Yeah. And what does it feel like to love somebody that don't love you?
Just loveless.
Loveless?
Like, you feel like it doesn't come back to you.
Are you gonna let him go?
We've been talking a lot about separating, but I think our finances are an issue.
That's an excuse.
But I'm working on getting a job and finding things, and that's what I'm doing. And then in
There are
February,
so many people that will help you.
I'm gonna go visit.
You don't have to stay there.
In February, I'm going to Costa Rica to visit my mom, and I'm gonna see her there. And when I get back, then because I have that little bit of a trip scheduled, so
An excuse.
it does feel like one. But I do have plans to.
The one thing I want to say to all of you, and those around the world too, a lot of you are waking up and you're finding that your house is burning down, and meaning that you're in situations that you really couldn't see what you were getting into. You thought you saw, but you really didn't see what you're getting into. And that some of you are living with people not married to them. Some of you have babies with folks that are not married to them, going through a divorce and all kind of stuff, right? I want to encourage you to get out of those situations. You got to let them go. And say to them to give you all kind of reason not to, but you got to realize you got in those situations in darkness. And so now that you're waking up and you see your house is burning down, you need to get out of the house. Really. And don't have excuses like, I don't have enough money, because if you're seeking God in his right way, a way will be made. Because now you got to become an example. You got to be the light of the world, the salt of the earth. You really need to get out of the situation and do it right. Because when you do it right and you have faith, it's going to come back. It's going to always turn out well for you. And so don't be mad at yourself for getting into those situations because you couldn't see what you were doing. But don't feel like you're obligated to those situations. And even though your emotions are now tied to the situation, especially if you've been doing the wrong thing, now you're attached to that person, and your emotions won't let you go, but you got to overcome the emotions. You really do, and it's going to be amazing. But if you stay in those situations knowing that you should not be there, it's not going to work out for you. It's just not. So you got to get out of them, go through the emotions, relax in the emotions, know that they're from hell, and that you're going to be better. You're going to be fine for them. And once you overcome them, you'll be fine. But you don't have to stay in these situations. Just because you feel like you're in love and all that, you're not in love. Love is not a feeling. Lust is a feeling, but not love. That makes sense? And a lot of folks are in these situations. I understand it because when I woke up, I found myself already in a situation. My house was burning down. But I got myself out of it. And then you get past it and things are fine. That makes sense?
Yeah, the only thing is that he has intentions to marry me, like he wants to be, and we want to be together, both of us. So that's the part I struggle with, is that we both have this strong desire to be together, and we're not together.
But that's not real though, because you're not supposed to have a strong desire to be together. It should just happen. Your desire is to be a daughter of God. Your desire should not be of this world at all. And if he really wanted to marry you, he would marry you already. He would have married you last night or the day before. All you have to do is go downtown and get married, or find some preacher to marry you. Or a judge, and it doesn't take but a second. So why do you say he wants to marry you? What's holding him back from marrying you?
I think we talked about it in our private session. That was there's a.
But why you keep believing that? If the person doesn't take action,
Well, he is.
all talk don't mean anything.
He's taken some action. He's done stuff that's in the works to get certain things resolved.
Did he marry you? Oh yeah. Oh, I remember now.
Yeah. So
you got a serious situation.
Yeah, he's going through those process, and once he gets those process completed,
I got it
then
now. I
he'll be
just
able to-
remember.
Yeah.
You
So-
can't do it right now.
No, I can't.
Isn't that
It
amazing?
is no. Not really.
Just think, If you were not in a fallen state, there's
Yeah.
no way you would have gotten into
No,
that situation.
absolutely not. No.
There is absolutely no way.
Matter of fact, I will never, if I could do it again, I would never have sex until marriage. Like, that to me has been one thing that I have, like, really got out of this. And I think bringing my son here, also, I feel like the conversations that he was here to hear that I hope resonated and stick with him, because I think there's definitely something to not having sex until marriage.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
is. Believe me. Wait. Do not. I know the world tell you to do it. That is love, and they're teaching that to the children in schools and things like that. They use bananas as examples, but they are setting you up. And if you notice, the world demoralizes people. They make you very emotional, and then they turn around and use that emotion against you for their own personal gain. For an example, there was a illegal alien boy that dies. I think he had made it in his country or something. And after that, or before that, some girl died, right? And so now they're like, oh, the girl died. The boy died. Oh, I feel so bad about it, right? And I'm like, I don't feel anything. Because it was the parents' fault that they brought their kid here. That wasn't our fault. We didn't have anything. I don't even know them. And so, but they're using that to make us feel sorry so we can lead the wall down. That's what it's all about. They corrupt you and then they use you. And then if you don't go along with it, something wrong with you. You know, why are you emotional about it? I'm not emotional because it's not my fault. It's not the United States' fault. As a matter of fact, with the little boy, I think the father refused to get medical care or something for the little boy. Huh?
Water.
Something, yeah, water for the little boy. And so the father wouldn't even do the right thing for the kid. How is that my fault? So you got to overcome emotions. Emotions are a no-no. They are bad. And prior to waking up, I had been living on emotions. I didn't know that they were bad. I thought what I felt, I heard a woman, Yolanda, whatever her name is. What's that woman?
Iyama.
Iyanla.
Yeah.
You know who she is?
Fix my life.
She's like on open channel, a black woman. You got to be absolutely nuts to go through that woman. You got to not know who you're talking to. You got to be out of your head to talk to Yolanda, Fix My Life. She had some black guy up against the wall yesterday, making him cry, big old black guy. And then she was holding him and making him cry. He was like, oh, I want my mama. I'm like, she is your mama. It was all drama. And then she hooked all these things that he had to, like, things he had to let go of or something. She had everything, like he'd been to jail, so he had handcuffs on, all kind of stuff, right? I'm like, it doesn't take all that. But it's crazy, and people go to her. And she's absolutely insane. She really is. She had no, Yolanda, whatever her name, Sally, I think is her real name, right? She had no clue as to what she's doing. None. Also, one other thing that happened, there was a black boy that is a wrestler. Did you hear about this?
Yes.
And just before he got ready to do his match, they said, you got to cut your hair, right? He had these little African braid things. And so some white people cut his hair. And the boy looked like he didn't really care, a black boy, even though he looked like a Mexican. His mama looked like his mama was white, right, James?
Maybe white Hispanic.
And then the father looked like a Mexican. But they say he is black.
Maybe black.
But the boy had these hair things. And so white people cut the hair, and everybody had a hissy fit about it, all the black people. That's his identity. Well, that's his identity. It needs to come off. You shouldn't get your identity from hair. Isn't that crazy? And so it seemed as though the mother didn't have any problem with it at first, but everybody, all the other race hustlers started carrying on about it. And so finally the mother became upset about it too. And the boy seemed not to have any problem. He went on and he won his match. But now that they're all carrying on, calling it racism, that's his identity and all that kind of stuff, they create a problem for this boy. Because if he become really good at what he's doing, nobody's going to want to hire him. Because they already see now what the outcome could be. And the rules are you can't have that kind of hair when you're wrestling because someone may try to pull you by your hair, and they can't do that. But it's just a mess, but it's emotional stuff. There was a white reporter on CNN right there, and she was talking about that situation, and she was like, oh, look at him. Oh, I feel so badly for him. He's all hurt. I'm like, how she know? She's sitting in the studio at CNN, ABC, wherever she's from, and the boy is somewhere else. And she's so hurt by it. It's all emotional, folks. You got to become dispassionate. That's a logical way to become. And you see what's right and you do it. It's not based on how you feel at all. So my prayer for you is that you overcome all this emotional stuff. It has no purpose but destruction. You find yourself crying over people you don't even know. And you go to funerals and you lie at the funeral. I remember a family member died in my family, and then at the funeral, people were getting up lying, talking about how wonderful he was. And even the preacher didn't even know the person. He lied about him. Oh, he was a wonderful man. And so I went up, and I'm like, Lord have mercy. They make it so hard for me. I am not going up here and lie. So I said, this man was no good. Let this be an example of what not to do in life. Everybody was shocked. They were like, let this be an example. When you saw this man coming, you didn't even want to see him. And now you're acting like you know him and you're so hurt by it. It was all lies. No wonder Christ said, let the dead bury the dead. I ain't going back there and tell lies. And then when I finished, to my surprise, a whole lot of people liked it. They were like, oh, I wish I could have said that. They were like, I'm glad you told the truth. You go to funerals and lie. Anybody ever lied at a funeral? You lied at a funeral? Ain't that amazing? Frankie lied. And he said, oh, this person is wonderful. I hated that person.
I lied.
Yeah. Don't lie at the funeral. Don't take the wide road. Take the narrow path. You cannot go wrong with it. The whole world is all messed up because we have allowed the children of the lie to mess us up. They have men acting like women and women acting crazy. It got to stop, folks. Really. We have the authority, not them. And so we have to stop giving in to them. Have no fear. Any other questions or anything? This is the end of the year, so let's have fun. Get it all out. Yes, James.
I have a super chat question.
Okay.
Jesse,
everybody like my watermelon sauce, right?
Yes.
He's jealous. I bet you if he had them, he would wear them. Go ahead.
Do you really believe that people should date for 7 years before getting married?
Absolutely. Date for 7 years, so you get to, and no sex. So you could, 7 years go by just like that. Look how fast this year went by. And if you're dating and having fun and getting to know each other, you're arguing and getting over the arguments and all that, one day you realize, this is my wife, or this is my husband for the wife. And you'll get married, and it'll last until death do you part. It really will. Because if you get married prior to 7 years, you're going to break up anyway. Most other people do. Why not wait? You think a person should wait, James? That's a hate report.
I think 7 years is ideal if you start out young, but nowadays people are starting out to where like the woman can't even have kids anymore.
Well, don't get married then.
Whoa.
If you, ladies, ladies, if you can't have kids, don't get married. There's no reason to be married. The only reason to get married is to have children. If you don't want to have children, do not get married. Because just think about it, you're not going to be having sex anyway, right? So what you need a husband for? You can't have children, so you might as well return to the Father, find perfect peace, and live your life.
I agree.
You agree, huh?
Yes.
Oh, right here. I'm glad.
I agree.
You agree?
Yes.
Tell me your first name again.
Jumana,
And this is your first time, right?
my first time, yes.
And why do you agree?
Because, like you said, after you get married to the person that you actually don't find out who they are
Yeah.
until you're actually living together.
Yes.
And then true colors show up.
That's
And now
right.
you have kids in the mix, and now things are more complicated.
Yeah.
So you don't want to regret having the kids because they're a gift from God. They're angels. They're innocent in this mix.
Yeah.
And so now things are more complicated, and how you're gonna unsolve all these like knots that
You're
you just tied
very
up
logical.
one after the other. And so I agree with. I think person should date at least 5 years. I would
Yeah.
say maybe 7 too much
Yeah.
for me, but I would say 5.
2 more won't hurt.
5. I did not. Right. I didn't have a chance to actually date. I arranged marriage, and so I now, like you said, I'm awake and I see the mistakes that I made. and
Yes.
I don't know how to solve them, like from where to start. So I keep thinking, okay, well now I'm stuck because my kids are young. I don't want them to grow up in a broken home to correct my mistake.
Yeah.
So I have to like try to fix things now instead of.
So your family arranged for you to marry this guy?
Yes, it was kind of an arranged
That's
marriage.
awful.
Yes. Yeah, it is awful.
Are you Armenian?
I'm from Jordan,
Oh,
Right.
yeah, they do that kind of stuff.
and so
And now you with a man that you don't want to be with? You don't want to be with him?
because, like I said, the true colors showed
Yeah.
up right after the marriage.
Amazing. So here's what I recommend. You have kids, you're with this guy, seek first the kingdom of God the right way, and it's enough to know you don't know what to do. Do nothing until you see what to do.
Right.
And God will work it out.
Yeah.
It will really work out and it'll be perfect.
Yes.
But don't hate him and don't hate yourself. Don't hate your parents for doing that. It was wrong. They never should have done that.
Right.
And but that's what they do in those countries.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it'll work out. It'll be so amazing.
I hope so.
Be honest with him, but don't hate him.
Right.
And don't make any more babies with him.
No more babies.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah, but really don't resent your situation.
Okay.
And then you'll see what we do. You will see what to do. Whatever that is, it'll work out perfectly. All right?
I hope so.
I'm
Thank
sorry that happened to you.
you. Me too.
Yeah. So to the foreign people, stop arranging marriage. Nobody want to be with them. This person find their own husband or wife. I'm sorry that happened. That's so terrible. Can you imagine being with a person that you don't want to be with because the parents put you together? Amazing.
Yeah, and I was young too, so it was kind of exciting for me because from my country, like we don't get to date. We are not allowed. And so I was 21, and this is my first chance to be able to speak to a guy my age
Right.
without, somebody trying to kill me for doing that.
Yeah.
So, of course, I got excited. I want to get out of the situation of being like just, you can't breathe, you can't look outside the window. So that was my opportunity, and that was my mistake, I think, that I thought getting married is an opportunity to get out of all the choking.
Yeah.
So I should have been wiser too.
Yeah, well, that's what happened when we're in that fallen state. That's why I said to everybody here and on camera that, if, you're waking up and finding out that, wow, my house is burning down.
Yeah.
I'm in a situation that I don't want to be in. What do I do? Seek the kingdom of God. Really put that first, and it works itself out.
Yes.
It really does. God has a way. It's weird, too, in a good way, how he make things happen. And just find out one day and things are working.
Yeah.
So it'll work out for you.
Thank you.
All right, but don't hate him. He
I'm
couldn't
trying
help
not
it.
to.
So what?
I'm trying not to.
Yeah. You hate him already?
We have a lot of problems, not like between me and him per se. There is, it's kind of, but it's more complicated than that. The financial situation with the business and all that. So it's been like the last 5 years, it's been like nonstop, hit after the other. And I have like literally, my hair is all white now.
Yeah.
So it's very stressful, and he kind of has like most of it. I don't want to blame everything on him, but
Right.
he made a lot of bad decisions that affected our lives.
Yeah.
And so I tried to stay. At one point, I was like ready to leave, but for the sake of the kids, because I don't want them to grow up without a father figure.
Right.
Let's fix things up. Let's stay. Let's work our problems and just, raise the kids the best way we can.
How many kids you have?
I have 2,
And how old are they?
11 and 10.
Amazing. And so does the husband, want to be with you? Or did he want to leave?
I think he wants to be with me. I don't think he loves me. I think he was same like me. He was excited about being with a girl, and so.
Yeah.
But he's from America, but I don't think he ever dated. I'm 7 years younger than him, and so. For me, I loved him. Like the beginning of our marriage,
Right.
it took me 4 years to get pregnant, and so those 4 years were like wonderful. We were like a honeymoon for the first 4 years.
Of course.
And so after I had the kids, I felt like he was because the baby was taking the attention. He started getting jealous, and so
Oh, yeah.
it's weird. So. And then with the second baby, now I'm more busier, no more attention for him. It's for the kids, and he started to resent me.
Amazing.
And why you don't take care of me? Why, like, I was like, so I started figuring out that he's immature. And then after that, more of his real personality started showing up, and we started clashing. Really
What would happen if you leave him, you think?
It's financially, my family can secure me, but I'm worried for my kids. Being a father, having a father is very important, and I believe in a kid's life. Like no matter how tough I could be on the kids, it's not like having a father.
If you broke up with him, can he see the kids anytime he want to?
I would love him to actually be involved. He's right now he's under the same roof, and he is completely checked out. Like I'm playing the father and the mother at the same time.
Man.
He's just not there. And
Here's what I recommend. When you get home today, have a good talk with him. And ask him if he loves you and if he wants to be together, and what does he think the solution is to resolve the issues. He may want to leave too, just not able to say it. Because the one thing about this marriage, according to what you've said, God did not bring it together. Your family brought it together. So you have a way out because it was not put together by God. And so you can, I'm not telling you to leave, but you two you and your husband, you're working out. And then the kids can still see him and be with him.
yes,
And not like, if you don't keep the kids away from him, they'll be fine. You don't have to stay in a situation just because they need a father, because having a man there that's not a real man is as bad as not having a man at all.
that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so your marriage, based on the information, was not made in heaven.
No,
It was put together by people, and that might not be the man for you. Or you might not be the woman for him.
Yeah.
And so if you guys can have a good, honest talk, and both of you agree that, hey, we're going to separate because the way this thing came together is not working, but let him see the kids, don't keep the kids away,
Yeah, absolutely.
and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just like, the only thing in my mind is how is it going to affect the kids if they were to find out, oh, my mom and dad are getting divorced, or they're not together anymore.
They'll
I'm
be-
so worried about my children.
They would be disappointed, but if you explain to them, well, our parents put us together, we were never meant for each other, you guys can see both of us, and it's not going to be a problem with you seeing either one of us, they'll understand at that age. You just need to be honest with them about it, and don't be angry, don't have angerness, don't hate the father, and the father shouldn't hate you, and it'll work out.
Yeah.
But I would have an honest talk with you should have an honest talk with your husband.
will, absolutely.
And be patient with it, and hear him out, don't be yelling and screaming. And you be honest about how you feel like you're being now, and then great things will happen.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But don't argue about it.
Thank you.
Just be honest about it. And if he get mad, let him argue, Allah, ooh, abba, whatever, right? And, and you just say, Allah, ooh, abba, Montel, I'm out of here. No.
I will.
But have a good, honest talk without arguing about it.
Right.
Let him have his opinion, you have yours, and be honest about the situation and see what happens.
Right. Thank
Will you try that?
I will today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've been talking to Adrienne about it, and
Yeah.
she's been trying to tell me like, okay, you need to do this, and so I've been trying, but it's I'm just glad that I had this talk with you.
Yeah.
Also.
Because
I
the
needed
thing is,
advice.
God did not put you guys together. Your parents did that.
Yeah.
And it's not made by God. So anything that God put together, no one should try to depart, tear apart. But if parents do it, you can tear it apart.
Yeah. True.
That makes sense, right? Anybody disagree with that? You disagree? Oh, good. Go with the mic over here.
You know,
What's your first name?
Chris.
Hey, Chris. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Why do you disagree?
Well, I just think lots of people in this day and age are getting divorced for reasons that, you know, are very trivial compared to like reasons in the past. So I think unless your spouse is like actually cheating on you, or they're handing you divorce papers, or they're physically, you know, violent to you, I think those are like valid reasons to end it. But I think it's probably I don't think you're gonna like leave that man and then move on to another man is gonna be better. I think most people don't like upgrade, you know, from one to the other. It's usually a downgrade, right?
Well, she shouldn't get another man, or he shouldn't get another woman because they have little kids.
Yeah.
They should wait until the kids are grown and see then if they want to marry somebody else. But how about if their parents brought this together? Because you're right in what you're saying, but the problem is, Chris, most people come together out of lust, false love, breaking up with one person together with another one. These relationships are not put together by God. They are put together by men and women who are in a fallen state, and that's why they're not working, because you know it's not brought together in the right way. And so, like her thing, they came together based on family, put them together. That wasn't God doing it. They didn't even know if they wanted each other or not. And like she said, she had an alternative motive. She thought this is the way out, but it really wasn't. How about that, when they're like that?
A lot of people, they're put together through all sorts of circumstances, whether, so arranged marriage, you know, from our perspective, that's kind of tragic, but it's been something that's been practiced throughout the ages, you know?
Right.
It's not, you know, it's not an extremely uncommon thing.
That's why God wants us to overcome culture. He doesn't want us to be about those things.
But I'm just concerned about one thing, like you know, I guess, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, ma'am, but...
My name?
No, her name.
Oh, what's your name again? Jamana,
you've mentioned your husband did express, he told you why he was like dissatisfied with you, right? He said now that the kid's here, you're not taking care of him, right? And you, in the way you see it as well, he's just complaining, he's being infantile. But do you consider, well, maybe he does have a point, like, Maybe you know there's some way that you know you satisfied your role in the relationship for him, you know, in the past, where now that you have the kids you kind of abandon that. Maybe I don't want to put all this on you, but
interesting point though.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe as a point, maybe it's something to consider, and maybe it would make the relationship better.
Are you not taking care of the kids?
Oh, absolutely, I am, and I actually understand his question, and I discussed it with my husband. When the kids were babies, of course, like I barely had time to shower, and he was unforgiving. And so now they're grown, and I'm giving him more attention, but still he's not satisfied because he wanted me to be exactly like his mother. Oh, my mom does this way, or she wants it this way. And so he's almost 50 years old, and
he's
his
almost
mom,
50?
Right, he's almost 50, and his mom still takes his shoes off and washes his feet, and she spoils him till today. And of course, I am not going to spoil him. You're a grown man. You can take off your own shoes. So his mom kind of spoiled him extra, which is, I understand, but I am not your mother. And I told him that I do things my way, not your way. But of course, but he should have been understanding that, of course, a child is going to require more attention than you. So when he sees me, like I have 2 kids that were born right after each other, that I am overwhelmed. I have no family here. I've raised those kids by myself. I actually had my older son in the hospital with me when I was delivering my second.
Amazing.
And his family did not help at all. And so I'm overwhelmed. He's at work, and he's still demanding more of me.
Do you want to stay or leave?
Actually, honest to God, I want to leave.
You want to leave?
I do.
Have you told him that?
We've gotten to like fights where we said, okay, I want a divorce, I want to leave, and I told him, I don't want nothing from you. I won't even take clothes from you. I will go back to my family with the children. Do your family
live in another country?
Yes, I would go back to my family.
You would go back?
Absolutely.
But won't they beat you up over there?
They probably will.
But why would you go back to that country then?
But at this point, my family, when they've seen what I've been through, especially the last 5 years, they are actually, my dad told me, you'll have your own apartment, your own car, your own expenses. We'll put your kids in the best schools, and then you live your life over here with us protected. Because his family is very vicious toward me.
Yeah.
And so
Well, women don't have
really
rights in that country, in those countries, right? I don't know about the one you have.
They don't have any rights,
Yeah.
actually. Whether you're Christian or Muslim doesn't matter. You have no rights. So, and I'm a Christian, of course, and then
I'll see if they have extra room at the barn house. You can't go back to that country?
absolutely. I mean, like, to be honest with you, at this point, I would rather be in a barn and next to my parents than to be here in a castle.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Oh, well, yeah, that's some additional context. Yeah, that sounds a bit intense what you're dealing
Yeah.
with. But would it, like, how feasible is it to you to possibly just say, like, okay, I'm going to stick with it until they're 18, because they're already over 10, right? Or 10 and 11? Stick with it for another 8 years.
But the point, based on her story, they only came together because of the parent. It wasn't like they dated, got to know each other, and they decided, let's get together. All right, so they really didn't know each other. So two people together, now they realize, based on the story, that they don't really know each other. They don't like each other.
I get it, but just consider,
so-
are you going to get some? Are you going to? What's the situation? What's like step 2? You divorce.
I understand
What's
his
step
is
2?
actually.
I
yes,
did too.
That's like actually a thing, and that was a plan for me. Is okay. I'm gonna wait till they are old enough for me to leave. They are gonna be like mature. They understand. They're not.
But by that time, you'll be dead with stress.
Yes, and I'm willing to sacrifice that for my children because I already made that mistake. I have to bear the consequences, and I am fine with that.
Can you bring him in for counseling? The two of you come, and I can hear his side of the
I
story.
would love to. I actually wanted to bring him today, and then he told me go check it out first, and then let me know. So
Oh,
you know how they
well,
do.
you should bring him,
I
if
will
not
try.
here to the service for counseling,
I will
and that way I can hear both sides. Don't you think?
Yes,
If I hear both sides, it's easy to make a difference. Right?
I'm just curious. Is he Christian, Muslim?
he's a Christian too.
You'd be willing to work it out.
Yeah. We'll try to get him here or bring him to counseling.
Yeah, I will.
Hopefully he'll come next Sunday if he doesn't come for
I'll
counseling.
try to convince him.
And we'll get it worked out.
Thank you.
All right. But just don't harbor anger. You know what I mean? You got to let that pass so you can see what to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what I have had conversations with her
Yes.
about, and it's about the anger. And I think that in prior conversations we have, she has a lot of resentment and anger towards her parents-in-law, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that being able to forgive her husband, being able to forgive her mother and father-in-law, I think if she can get past that,
It'll help.
at least she'll live in a little bit more peace.
Yes, absolutely. There is nothing on earth that important that you should be angry about.
Yeah.
Do y'all know that? There's not one thing on earth that is that important that you need to be angry about. Not one thing. Oh, he cut my throat. Oh, that's nice.
I've actually, a cousin of mine told me if they crucified Jesus, they spit on him,
Yeah.
they stabbed him, they
That's
beat
right.
him, and he still forgave them while he's on the cross. Do you think you're better than Jesus that you cannot forgive them for
That's
something
right.
they said? And
This little stuff you're going through is nothing compared to what he had to go through.
Exactly. And so I'm like, why am I having this hard time letting go of my issues? I'm not sure why.
You gotta let. Your friend said you gotta let go of the anger.
I've been trying, and I cannot get to
Are you
it.
doing my silent prayer?
I sent it to you this morning.
Actually, no, yes, but I should get to it.
Make sure you start doing it. All
I'm
right.
having a hard time letting go of my anger
Right.
toward what they put me through, so
Yeah.
And-
But forgive them. They cannot help it.
I'm trying.
They're
I
doing
don't know
what
why
they
I'm
see.
unable to forgive them. I'm
Do
not
you
sure.
want to?
I want that mountain off of my shoulder.
Do you want to forgive them?
I want that. I don't know what I want.
Well, no wonder.
I don't want revenge of what they did to me,
You
but I
want
just
revenge?
no,
Oh.
absolutely not.
Why not forgive them so you could be free, no matter what the situation is?
I want to it, but I'm unable to actually get on with it.
Well, do my silent prayer tonight. Start doing that.
Okay.
All right, and then first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and God will work it out for you. But she's making a very good point. It's not the situation that's making you feel badly, it's the anger that you have for it.
I do.
Really, if you don't have anger, don't have an opinion, just see it, it'll work out. You'll be okay no matter what the situation is. Only time people have a problem with situations is because you hate the situation. You hate the person, you hate the situation. But if you can take on your situation, and I have something to read to you, if you can take them on with joy, you can overcome and endure anything. Really, you really can. And don't be hoping that this hurry up and end either. You let it end when it ends. And because it's your opportunity to draw closer to God and to know yourself. You need this situation to become a daughter of God. Because it's going to force you to look at yourself.
Yes.
All right? So don't hate it. Don't hope that it's over real fast. Have no opinion about it. Go through it with joy. And it really is going to be, you'll grow, you become a daughter of God. There will be things happening for you that you have no idea right now. But most people want things to be hurt, especially if it's painful. You want it to be over with just like that. Oh, Lord, please take this away. And the Lord won't take it away. And you'll be like, oh, I thought you loved me. But endure, but don't hate. All right? And don't be in a rush.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
But hopefully he'll come.
Thank you. Yeah. I will.
Good advice, man. But most relationships are not put together by God. And that's why people are breaking up. Those relationships that are put together by God, those people stand together. There's, like when I was growing up, people stayed together until death did them part. Because they were brought together by God. And so the promise is made to him that I'll stay with this person through thick and thin to do the right thing. You're not making the promise to the person, you're making it to God. That I'm going to stay with this person no matter what. But nowadays, it's just sex and whatever else. You're lonely or whatever, right? And that's the wrong reason. That's not by God, and that's why they're not lasting. Let me take right. Did I see your hand?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me take right here, then here, and I think I saw your hand, right? Okay.
I just want
James.
It was. I think you said that if there's a woman who can't bear children, not to get married.
Right.
I just kind of it made me think of Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul says that it's best not to get married, but if you burn and then go get married. And it seems to me.
Well, an old woman that can't have children ain't gonna be having no sex.
Oh, okay, but you can have a young woman.
What?
You can have a young woman that can't have children.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of sets her up. If she doesn't get married because but she burns, she may cause it her sin.
Oh.
So that was just a concern.
Women are not as into that as men are.
Well, these days they kind of are, but yes, I agree with
They're
that.
just doing that to get you.
Yeah.
They're just pretending.
Right, but marriage would be a perfect framework to work out that burn, to be done with it, wouldn't it?
Where's Paul now?
He's in heaven.
I rest my case. No, I
With
see
Jesus,
your point,
so
though.
far.
Yeah, I
Okay,
see the
just-
point.
That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But if men and women seek first the kingdom of God, they don't have to worry about that kind of stuff
Absolutely.
because they'll have self-control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right here. Good question, though, man. Are you burning?
It's diminishing.
It's diminishing?
Yes.
Well, we know what you're doing. No wonder you brought up Paul.
Some embers that are left over.
Yes.
You gonna say anything? You know, I love coming to these bond meetings because there's a lot of wisdom here.
Yeah.
And I like one thing you said about waiting for the answer. I think that is so key because
Yes.
there's this quote I like to express. It's called, "Patience is genius." That's a very profound quote. I read someplace, I forget. Patience is genius.
Yes.
And, you know, you asked, how did your year go? And I figured you were going to call on me sooner or later.
How was
And
your year on a
it-
scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best?
Growing. I'm just growing.
How was
8
that?
to 9, somewhere. Well,
A 9?
without talking about myself so much like
Yeah.
Obama used to, I want to share with you some things that I learned. And the main thing that I learned, and I'd like to ask everybody in this room this question.
You can't do that.
There's three
You
types.
tell us real fast what you learned because we're running out of
There's
time.
three types of people in this world. There's problem makers, problem complainers, and problem solvers. And what I wanted to ask, you know, we have the chance to be a problem solver or be the other two, which isn't so hot. And what I've come to discover is that during my own life, I think I tried to solve problems, but I didn't know what my purpose was so much. And what I came to realize is that I want to solve problems. I mean, I guess that's a good thing, I guess. But I didn't know how to do it. And I was always kind of a hack, you know, just saying the truth or saying to somebody what they need to hear without really caring about whether that was going to solve the problem or not.
Let me just, because I'm tired, let me clear one thing up for you. There's no such thing as problems. And you can't solve problems because they don't exist, right?
Well,
there are only situations that if you allow yourself to go through with the right attitude, don't complain about it, it works itself out. God works it out, and you will see your relationship with God, and you will see that He does all things. Of ourselves, we can do nothing.
Of course, that's the ultimate truth. But you know, I use Donald Trump as an example. Here is a guy. He's not an ideologue. He doesn't call himself a conservative or a liberal. He just wants to make things better. I won't use the word solving problems.
Yeah, no such thing as do y'all know that?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have problems. You just have situations, and that's where you have to have faith. You have to be that, and then be glad about the situations.
Yeah.
Don't complain about them at all. It's going to be amazing.
I use that analogy because it's a little bit more clear to people, but I understand what you're saying. I agree with that. You know, really.
And I want to use the right analogy because the world has deceived us.
Yeah.
And now you think that you got problems, right? And there are no problems.
Well, you can call them issues or whatever. There's things
Situations.
we want to overcome in our life. And I mean, we can't do it without the grace of God. To do it the right way, there's only one way.
Right.
Because, you know, you're moving in one direction. You're either getting better or getting worse. No one is stagnant in this room. And just remember one thing, evil is bottomless. There's no bottom to it. So if you're going in the wrong direction, there's no end to where you're
That's for sure.
To that journey.
That's right.
And it's the same thing with holiness.
That's
There's
right.
no end. It's eternal. It's always improving. So since we're short on time, I want to just say one more thing about my experiences in life. I'm 68 years old, whatever.
You're 68?
68. I'm your age.
Social Security.
I'm your age. But
and Medicare.
We're always the same age. But what I wanted to say is that there are...
I had to go to the doctor the other day because I think I have a cold or something. And then I have Medicare. They're like, you have Medicare? I'm like, yeah. I didn't have to pay a dime. I was like, wow, this is cool. It pays off to be old.
But you know,
and I didn't have to use Obamacare.
As you point out to people here, I think, is that the answer is always within us.
Yes.
Really. It is within us.
Sure
and
is.
I always like to say, because, you know, a person of average intelligence, I've always been impressed with certain people that have great accomplishments. They seem really intelligent, and I always put myself back as, gosh, I'm nowhere in that league. But my own quote, this is my quote, and it came to me, and it starts, quote, "The most ignorant man in the world knows something that the wisest man in the world does not know but should know," unquote. That's
amazing.
my quote. Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay.
I think, did you have your hand?
I didn't, but
Oh, you did not?
I can ask a question real quick if you want me to.
Oh, okay. This your first time?
Yeah, my name's Boston. I'm down here from Northern
What's
California.
your name?
Boston.
Boston?
Yeah.
Like Boston, Massachusetts? Amazing.
I guess the question I had in my mind is, can a person be more complete with God or living a solo life?
A solo life?
A solo life?
Meaning not being married?
Yeah, or by getting married and having children, do you become more closer to God, or does it not make a difference?
That's a really good question. That's kind of what he was talking about. If you want children, it's best to be married and have your children under that umbrella marriage. And then being with this woman, your wife, after you get through making all the babies, because you're going to be in a fallen state making babies, right? And so once you make all the babies, and make sure you make are you white? You white or Indian? I mean, or Mexican? What's your nationality?
I'm from England. I don't
Make
know
sure
how
you
to
have a lot of babies.
Well,
we need some white babies. Don't we need white babies?
it depends on where you start the timeline, because all humans are came out of Africa, so
Is that what
essentially
they say?
I
believe that.
could identify as African American.
No, don't believe that.
No? Okay.
But listen, if you want to have a family, it's best to get married and have it, and then make all the babies, and then stop having babies and stop having sex, and then you'll come back, you'll wake up, you'll come out of that. But as long as you're having sex and stuff, you're not going to be able to do it. You got to stop at some point. As soon as you make all the babies you want to make, then you return to God. And that way you and your wife will stay together.
So are you saying it's better to have children with a person who shares the same racial identity?
Yes. But that's not why I brought up white. I just know that white people not having babies. They have like 1 and maybe 2, and they think that's cute. And now, and now the world is attacking them all over, trying to get rid of. I was asking James this morning, how come it's okay to attack white people and no one seems to bother by it, but Jews, if you attack the Jews, they get mad and they're protected. The women are protected. The homosexuals are protected. The blacks are protected. The Indians are protected. The Mexicans, everybody but the white people. And if we're going to protect, you would think we'll protect all people. And so that's why I want you to have a whole lot of babies, so that we need some white babies. But, so did that answer your question?
Yeah, that's good.
So if you want a family, you want kids?
I do, yes, yeah.
Okay, well, it's best to be married.
Right,
No-
I'm not with anyone right now.
Yeah. And so while you're not with them, seek what's right first. Seek God. And if he wants you to have a wife, he will add her to you. Don't go online looking for one. All right? That's beta. But seek the right way, and God will add all things unto you. And then if he gives you a woman, it'll be the perfect wife for you. And you will be the perfect husband for her. And you guys will get married, you'll have a truckload of kids, and then you'll stop, and then you'll grow up. That makes sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here. How did you hear about us?
Just came across your videos online about March or so, and I came down this weekend to see the King Tut exhibit.
Oh, okay. Do you live in this country now?
Yeah, I live up in Humboldt County.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, man. Make sure you come back. All right. That's a good question. So you want a wife? You looking for a girlfriend?
Well, I have been in a few relationships in my lifetime.
And what happened?
Just never really shared certain moral values, you know. That's always why we broke up.
Yeah.
Then we'd kind of get back together, and then the same things would happen. And
Yes, that's right.
so I'm sort of just on a solo venture right now until I'm more complete in myself, I suppose.
As this young lady said, one of these ladies said, know yourself. Get to know yourself. It's going to be amazing. Know thyself. Everything, as Jim said, everything you need to know is within you. It's already there. You don't have to look outside. All right? And if I could be a bit of help, let us know. Okay. Yes, Cheryl. Give the mic to Cheryl there.
This is kind of light, but I was looking at, during Christmas, they play all the Christmas stuff, so they played the old Christmas Carol, and I happened to catch it at the end, and so Scrooge, wakes up, he's so happy that he didn't die, that, he made it.
Right.
And then he says something really interesting, which I wouldn't have caught if I didn't come here. He said, the ghosts came here, he said, I don't know. He said, I don't know anything. He said, I never did know anything.
Right.
And he was just he was so ecstatic. He started dancing around, saying, I don't know anything. I never knew anything.
That's
but now
right.
I know that I don't know anything.
You're going to be surprised at what you don't know, that you thought you knew, and all the lies that's been told to you. We've been absolutely lied to by the world, by our teachers, by our parents, because the parents lied because that's what was told to them, and that's all they knew. But we could start all over by waking up, realizing of yourself you know nothing, and of yourself you could do nothing.
But I wouldn't have got that. I mean, it was like, wow,
Yeah.
and he was so ecstatic that he didn't know anything. He didn't have to know anything. He just had to be.
That's
and
right.
he was just overjoyed. It blew his mind. And I just thought,
Yeah.
wow, look at that.
Cheryl makes a good point. You got to learn to just be. You want to be, just be. God created man and blew breath, and man became a human being. So just be. He'll take care of you. He really will. Keep your eyes on yourself. Where am I? I think I'm here. So just have fun. This is the end of the year, so we're celebrating. We're just remembering. Yes.
I just wonder how you.
How you doing, man?
I'm really good.
Where you been?
Everywhere. I'm omnipresent.
I've been everywhere, man.
But yeah, I'm really good. So what I was thinking was, I wonder if people could use that. God didn't bring us together. Like when can you know that, or when can you use that? Because that could be an easy solution for her to say, like, oh well, God didn't bring us together, and they're
That's a
both
true
Christian.
solution.
What's up?
The way you know is by dating. Get to know each other. Date for a while.
But what if
I
it
recommend
started off
7
as
years.
you think it's an arranged marriage, but what if God said no? I actually that's what I wanted.
No, God is not going to have your parents put you together with somebody. God
but
is
you may
very
think
smart.
that, though.
If He want you to get with a person, He's going to let you know. And He'll let both parties know, hey, it's time to get married. He's not going to tell somebody else to tell you.
You'll know by yourself, and the other person. So you're saying the relationship that both of you have so strong with God, God will make that obvious for both of you.
Your relationship will be with God, and hopefully hers will too. But if not, yours will be with God, or hers will be with God, and yours won't. And she would know this is not the man for me, or you would know this is not the woman. But if you start doing the sex thing and all that, you won't know.
Yeah.
You get married based on how you feel, and those feelings will disappear as soon as you get married.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, Lord, have mercy, I don't like this person.
Yeah, both the people that love the Lord will know.
Yes.
Like you and the girl.
Yeah, you both will know.
Cool. I'm gonna tell those girls that
if let's say you decide you don't want God, right? But she does, and she's truly seeking Him. Not some Bible thumping stuff, but really seeking Him, getting to know herself. She will eventually know that you're not the guy for her. You're not from God. And she'll be able to just walk away from it. She won't be mad at you. She won't blame you. She won't feel addicted to you, not emotionally tied to you. She'll just be able to walk away and realize this is not for me. Yeah. All these other things are put together based on what the world say. And that's why they're not working. God is not in that. And then people get together and try to make it work, and they end up violence and all kind of stuff. Yeah. Yes, James. Are y'all having fun? Anybody disagree about anything? You disagree? Oh, okay. Go ahead, James.
This lady online is asking that after you're done having all your kids, you're not. After she's done having all her kids, she's not supposed to have sex with her husband anymore.
No, she's supposed to return to God, and so does the man. So now you're being made perfect, so you can lead the kids in the right way to go by being a perfect example. As long as you're having sex with your wife or the wife with the husband, you're not going to be a perfect example, because your emotions will be tied to the other person. And you'll be trying to get all the love that you can get. And then the kids will grow up all messed up. But you need to return to the Father now that you got the kids in the fallen state, right? Return to the Father so that He can guide you. He can work through you. That makes sense? Yeah. So yes, once you have have a whole bunch of them, and then stop. All right? And it'll be fine. See, everything you've been taught by the world, you need to go the other way. Don't go down that road. Take the other road down. I'm telling you, it's a totally different life. It really, really is. Absolutely different. Nothing than what you can imagine. You knew it as a kid, but when you were traumatized, it was taken away from you. You forgot. And so God is just reminding you of everything that you already know. All right? Okay. Who else? Oh, yeah, right here. And then there, Michael.
So you said you should know, God will let you know that you want to be with someone. But
Yeah.
how do you distinguish that from ego?
God's voice is a voiceless voice, and He revealed to you. And He will let His child know that it's okay to be with that person. But the voice in your head, that's not from God, and always go the other way when it says something. Because every thought you get is a lie. Everyone. No such thing as a true thought. That's why He said, my children will know me by my voice, because His voice revealed things to you, and Satan's voice talked to you. And we've been trained to go with that voice, thinking that, oh, I heard from the Lord. No, you didn't. You heard from Satan. But you will know. But you got to learn to doubt every thought you get. Every thought is a lie. That make sense?
Yeah, I go back into my own situation, and I just know that he's the one for me, you know, and that's the way I feel. But I don't know if that's ego or if, because in my heart, I just feel like I'm completely ready to.
But you don't know. You're just lusting and hungry for this man. Because it's not, God's way are not emotional. You know, you don't just know that you know that you know, right? You just know. Like the sun is shining, you don't have to get all emotional about that, right? And that's how it'd be for you. But if you feel it and you just know it, that's from Satan. Because if it was meant to be, it would already be. Things would have been worked out already and things would be happening for you. And then if it's meant to be, you move away, he'll still marry you. If it's meant to be. He'll marry you out of another house. You don't have to be in that house with him. But you're too emotionally tied to him. Are you trying to control him?
No.
You trying to get it your way?
No. I've given up on all that.
Oh, you giving up on that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was at some point a person like that, but
One thing I want you to know for sure, without a doubt, when you want something that badly, that you just know it, you just feel it, then that's you. That's from Satan. Because when God wants you to know something, there are no feelings with it. You can just see and do. But if it's all like that, it's from the wrong God. That make sense?
yes.
Yeah. That's probably why you need to get away from him for a while. Let him work out his situations. And if he want you, he'll come back for you.
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yes.
But you got to let go because you think it's something else going on and it's not. What do you think about that?
I agree.
She need to get away, right? Yeah. Do you know about her situation?
Yeah.
Does she need to get away?
I think some space could do some
Yeah.
good, yes.
It really will. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah.
But you got to let all this emotional stuff go. You think that's from God, you think that's love, and it's not. All right?
Yes.
But you won't let it go. You hold on to it like water.
And no, it's in my conversations that I've had, I've told him that I'm ready to separate and we need to do this. But what his response is that, you know, you're breaking the family up, and if I leave,
There is
I'm
no
never
family.
coming back. It just becomes very violent.
But
Like, not
there-
violent, like, I'm saying the wrong things. It doesn't.
She said violent.
It's not violent, but it's like, it's intense. Yeah, it gets intense, and it's not like it's.
Because too much emotions are involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Break that intensity down.
Yep. That's why you need to be by yourself.
Yes, yes. No, we're working. I'm going to work on that. I just need, like I said, I want to get a job, and then in February I'm going to do a little vacation, and then when I come back, I'm going to get my stuff together
Yeah.
and really get a job so I can afford.
And I'm not telling you to get with another man or
No.
anything, because you have a child.
Yeah.
Raise your child.
Yes.
And if this guy really want you, he'll come back and get you. All right? But don't wait for him and don't look for him. And don't yearn for him.
Yes.
You only seek the kingdom of God. All right? Okay.
Thank you.
Michael, you had your hand right? Okay. And Joel, I got something for you to read. I hate to have you read since you're black, but if I read I sound bad, I'll be ashamed. But if you read, I'll laugh at you. All right, Joel? All right. Yes, Mike.
So I wanted to share an experience from a Christmas party. I was at a friend's house, and there was another guest that needed a ride home. And
You were too drunk to drive?
No, she needed a ride home. She
Oh.
took the bus or train.
Did you get drunk?
No,
Oh,
I didn't.
too bad.
Thanks. And so I didn't go in with my MAGA hat, but it was in my front seat. And so when she got into my car, she saw that I needed to move the hat, and she saw it. She was like, "Oh, is that a Make America Great hat again?" I was like, "Yeah, it is." And so that started our conversation in the car, and she got really upset. We started talking about immigration, like President Trump, and she called me a racist, sexist, misogynist. And then she told me to run my car into the center divider on the freeway and kill myself.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was really weird because I just didn't understand. No, I totally could understand. It's kind of what you're talking about, and what we all discuss is this kind of blindness. And
Yes.
one of the things I think that really set her off was about abortion. And I said, it's, you know, at least for the way I saw it, it's women trying to play God, and she just completely lost it. And that's when she told me to go kill myself. I was like, oh man. But at the end of the ride, she was like, because she told me to like drop her off. I was like, I don't even know where I am to drop you off. It's like, yeah. I was like, is that even safe for me to do?
I would have dropped her off right on that divider that she tried to make you that she tried to make you run across.
Man,
you know what? You're getting off, not me.
I should have done that.
Yeah.
But you know, something in me was like, man, I got to get her home safe and.
Beta.
Man. Yeah.
Beta male.
Yeah. And so she was confused. She was like, I guess I should say thank you for getting me home. I was like, you're welcome.
Don't worry
and have
about
a
it.
good life.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Oh man.
You remind me of someone sent me. I think James sent it to me online. There was some guy went into a store, and another guy was in there with a "Make America Great Again" hat on,
Trump T-shirt.
A Trump T-shirt on, and this guy, I guess he's a transgender, and so one, I don't know if it was the clerk or the guy that was with the shirt on, called him a sir. You see that? And he was like, I'm not a sir. It's ma'am to you. But you sound like a sir. And he's like, I'm not a sir. His voice deeper than mine. I'm a ma'am. And then I guess they kept calling, I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I think they kept calling him sir.
He said, let's go outside, I'll show you, sir.
Yeah, he got so mad, he started destroying the store, running out, messing up things. Sounded just like a man, acting like a man. But want to be called ma'am or something instead of man. Ain't that something? We're going to play that on the show this week. Did you see that?
Yeah. I confused it. There was two. That one that was a guy turning into a woman, screaming like a man.
Yeah.
And the other one was a guy had a Trump T-shirt and he walked into like right? And the guy behind the counter was, you know, triple beta, and started screaming at him because of the Trump T-shirt. And the guy taped the whole thing. And the other guy was humiliated, and the guy was taping it and being cool and calm. But they're the two main ones. Have you ever thought of doing a beta of the week on your show or beta of the month?
That's a good idea.
You got plenty of material.
James? Yeah. That's an idea. I hadn't thought of that, but that's a good idea. So listen, we're starting to wind down. Anybody have any questions or comments or anything you'd like me to respond to real fast?
On the beta man, start with LeBron James.
Yeah. Start with LeBron James for the beta male. Beta! Yeah, sure. You have a question? I do. Okay. And then, Joel, come up here. I want you to read something. Okay.
Why is it?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Why is it that or Trump haters or whoever cannot tolerate? I mean, just cannot absolutely tolerate just the like if you see, they just can't. They just cannot tolerate it. They can't even discuss it.
Because he's a good man. He's honest. He put the country first. He's keeping his word, trying to keep his word so far. And they have never had anyone to expose the government in the manner that he is doing it. Because they've been getting away with this stuff for so many years. The Democrats and Republicans. They're about power and wealth. They never intended to make the country better. Yeah. They were all acting and pretending. And this man is sincere. The Great White Hope is sincere about it. And they're having a nut fest.
But not only the people like in the government, but just regular people that are Democrats.
But once you're going to see, it's going to happen to you too. I'm telling you, all of you, when you really turn around and start living your life and be honest and be fair and stick to your word and do what you're supposed to do, watch what happens. The world going to go crazy. I'll tell you about this crazy black woman over at the post office, right? She was standing, where's Joel? Oh, she was standing on the corner there, and I had seen it a little bit, and then I drove by the other day, and she was standing on the corner selling CDs or something, and I drove slowly. I let my window down, and I said, "Making America great again." She's like, "Oh, hell no." She went, "Oh." I think she's kind of lunatic anyway. She went, "Oh, there's more racism in the world than I ever seen because of Trump." And I'm like, "No, he's exposing what's already there, hatred. That's what you're seeing." And she just went, "Oh." And I drove away, and she was still talking to herself. But you haven't seen anything. And then I was downtown the other day walking back to my car, and some black guy in one of those delivery trucks drove by. He said, "I know who you are. I hate you." And I was laughing, thinking that he'd be like, "No, I mean it. I hate you." So, and your family members and everybody going to turn on you. And you're not going to be forcing them on anything. You're not going to be preaching to them. You're just going to be you. But the real you is different than the world. You're not emotional. Men and women are logical. They do what's right. They see what's right, and they do what's right. And the world is so emotional, and everything is based on what you think or feel. Yana said, Yolanda, whatever her name is, she said, men do things based on what they think, and women do things based on how they feel. They go by their feelings. I'm like, that's the problem. We should not be going by what we think or what we feel. The truth will be revealed to us. It's so amazing, folks. So I want to encourage you to go the other route. Go the other way. Don't go the way of the world. They'll tell you. That's why you ended up in these situations, because you listen to them. And these situations never going to work out. And if you pay attention to the people who are giving you the wrong advice and look like they're having a good life because they glamour and they're on magazines, their lives are all screwed up. They're having kids out of wedlock. They're from relationship to relationship. They have therapists. They have folks to tell them how to do this and that. They're not happy. They really are not happy. So stop listening to them. Watch them, but don't listen to them. Don't listen to the crazy experts. They charge you like $1,000 for an hour. That's ridiculous, and you still don't get better. And then they give you medication. Stop it, folks. The way is that straight and narrow path, not the wide road. And John, come on up. I saw your hand way in the back. Yes. Did I see your hand? Yes. Okay, come on. And Joel, come on up. I want you to read something.
Well, I was just going to make when you were saying that they stay together and they work things out.
So what now?
The people that stay together, husband and wife, they're meant for each other.
Yes.
I've noticed that some of them stay together like because they have no self-esteem for themselves.
Yeah, because they're angry.
And a hatred, and they think they can find nobody else.
Right.
You know.
That's why I'm telling you to drop the anger. When you drop the anger, your way is always clear. You see the next thing to do and the next thing to do and the next
right,
thing. So you got to drop the anger. So if you are in a bad relationship or a situation or whatever, if you don't have anger about it, it's amazing.
Right.
You get through it, it'll pass, and you'll be fine. It really will.
So they stay together and they're miserable rather than, separate and be peaceful and happy.
Yeah. God is not putting this junk together. That's why they're not working. Really. Because if you dated and got to know each other and you loved each other that way, then nothing can split you up. You'll fight all day but still be fine. It won't be personal. Right. It really won't. Did I see your hand in the glasses or one of you guys' hand? Yes. Real fast, and then Joel got something to read.
What you said about family turning against you happened on Christmas.
What now?
What you said about family turning against you?
Yes.
Happened on Christmas. I mean, found out days after, but had a great time. Went to go see my niece. Everyone's laughing. Everything's fine. Had a talk with my brother's father-in-law, and he's kind of like me. He likes politics, but we're completely opposite spectrums. But we had a good conversation, even though completely disagree. It was, it was cordial, it was nice, but I got a sense that like my brother and his wife were getting all emotional about it.
Yeah.
And they were having a problem, even though we weren't talking to them, just us, not arguing, having a good time.
Yeah.
Left. find out a few days later, just like in his tone and his text, I could tell he has a problem with it. So I kind of call him out and say, is there an issue with something? Like,
Yeah,
it seems like
right.
you're holding on to something. He's like, well, I don't understand how you support that president. You shouldn't bring that topic up. I'm like, well, did you go after your father-in-law for like the same way you went after me?
That's right.
And just like that, and it's just, he couldn't even hear himself. He just kept trying to stay up in his thoughts and sound like a professor and talk to me instead of just talk to me plainly.
Beautiful.
And say what he needed to say.
And it doesn't make sense to get mad at someone because they disagree. Okay, you like Trump, but you don't like Trump. Fine. Why are you mad at me because I like Trump? That has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Why are you mad because I'm jumping in the ocean and you're not? It doesn't make logical sense, but when you're in that anger, you take on the world. You just feel everything. You're absolutely right. I was talking to one of my favorite uncles. He is my favorite. And he listens to the show. And there was a guy that called up on Thursday or Friday, and he's 22, right, James? 24. He was 24, married to living with a 30-year-old woman. And in the conversation, I told him, you got to get out of there, dump her right away. This is your mother. Because he said his father was beta and that his mother controlled everything. And so he ended up with a woman 30 years old and he's 24. And he was like, but Jesse, I can help her. I'm like, no, you can't. I said, you cannot help her. But what if she's so nice? She's just so giving and she's so nice. I said, no, she's not nice. Because if she were nice and when she give to you and you didn't give back, she would be mad about it. He's like, oh yeah, that's right. And so I was talking to my uncle, he heard the show. He's like, why are you telling that guy to leave that woman because of age? Ain't nothing wrong with a guy being younger than a woman. I said, yes, it is. He said, a woman can have a lot to give. I said, yeah, a lot of hell. And he's like, because they become your mama, and women don't want to be your mama. You know what I'm saying? And so I told the guy, you need to leave. And he's like, yeah, I see what you mean. So I'm waiting to see this week if he left or not. But he's addicted to the woman now. That's what it is. He's emotionally connected. And that's what the problem is. And so I want to read something about endurance. Well, Joel's going to read it, and Joel can't read either. And I'd rather have Joel make a fool out of himself than me. And you need to hold it up.
No, I can see it right here.
Okay, so what is this?
Trials and privilege.
Can y'all hear him?
Trials a privilege.
This is Joel without the hate report.
Trials a privilege.
Yeah, it's a privilege to have situations in your life. All right? Just know that. No such thing as, Jim mentioned, no such thing as a problem. It's a situation that causes you to grow. It's not a problem. You need those. Matter of fact, you need them in your life. Look how people get messed up if you give them free stuff. They don't get better. They only get better when they take on their own situations. Have you noticed that? So likewise, when situations come, you take them on with joy. And I don't mean you have to be laughing about it, but don't be angry about it. It's going to be amazing. All right, go ahead, Joe.
My brothers, consider it great joy when trials of many kinds come upon you. For you well know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance, and perseverance must complete its work so that you will become fully developed, complete, not deficient in any way. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Did y'all hear him? Yeah. Oh, Michael said no.
Oh, louder? Okay.
Yeah, a little louder for Michael.
Same thing or
yeah.
Moving on?
Hold the book up? Yeah. Hold the book up?
He's talking down. Read the same one?
Yeah, real fast, a little louder.
My brothers, consider it great joy when trials of many kinds come upon you. For you well know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance, and perseverance must complete its work so that you will become fully developed, complete, not deficient in any way.
Everybody agree with that? Anybody disagree? Yeah, that's a good one. A lot of times when I'm counseling people, working with people, once I find out that they don't want to do it or they don't want to do the right thing, I say, okay, I'm done, fine. Don't force it, but you be happy about your situation, meaning don't complain about your situation. But if people don't want to go through things, they want to go through it quickly or whatever excuses they make, let them have it. They have a right to be wrong. Or maybe they need to suffer more. All right? So don't feel badly about that. Just say, oh, okay, fine. Really. And you go on with your life, but don't hate the person. Don't be mad. And never, ever be mad about your situation. There's not anything on earth that's worth being mad about. Not one thing. Not one thing. All right? Okay. And the other one is?
Prayer with confidence. Prayer with confidence. Any of you who lack wisdom must ask God, who gives to all generously and without scolding. It will be given. But the prayer must be made with faith and no trace of doubt, because a person who has doubts is like the waves thrown up in the sea by the buffeting of the wind. That sort of person in two minds, inconsistent in every activity, must not expect to receive anything from the Lord.
That's right. That was nice, Joel. I'm glad for you. He got a little white in him. So, do you understand prayer without faith is a waste of time? You can pray, ask God for something, whatever you do, but if you don't have faith, it's not going to happen. You can wait until the cows come home. They ain't never coming. So I want to ask this closing question. How do you have faith? All right, I know you had your hand, right? Yes, right here.
I have noticed that a lot of the time, I even find myself like praying through anxiety or like some sort of like, oh my God, like, but it's no faith, so I know exactly what
Do you know how to have faith when you pray?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't.
You don't know, okay. Do you know how to have faith when you pray?
I have no idea.
Let me have the mic. You have no idea?
No, I do not.
This your first time here?
It's my second.
Oh, okay.
I was here about a month ago.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Do you pray?
Yeah.
And you pray with doubt?
No.
But you say you don't know how to have faith, right?
I don't know how to have faith, like consciously have faith while I'm praying. But I do. I feel like I have genuine prayers.
Oh, okay.
And that they're real.
And why you feel that they're genuine? If they're not, if you don't pray with faith.
I'm a follower in Jesus Christ.
You what?
I'm a follower in Jesus Christ.
And how, if you have no faith, how are you following him?
I have faith. I don't know if I consciously have faith like right then and there. I mean, I always have faith in the Lord, but I can't verify it.
How do you know you have faith in the Lord then?
Because I believe the Lord is my... I don't know how to explain it, put it in words. I mean, I grew up in the church, and I've always been a believer in Jesus Christ.
But how do you know you believe if you have no faith?
Because it feels genuine.
What does it feel like?
Feels real.
What does it feel like?
Feels like I don't know how to put it into words. I feel like I'm getting really red. It's getting really hot in here now. But yes,
That's funny.
I've been going to church for years, and I've always felt like that I believe that the Lord is, you know what I mean? I grew up in the church, and I feel like it's genuine. I believe that.
And what is that feeling?
Jesus Christ.
What is that?
Feels
feeling?
great.
What does it feel like?
I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
So what?
I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to put it into words. I just know that
It feel like a heartburn?
Does it feel like heartburn? No.
Oh, does it feel like Michael felt when he had that woman in the car the other day?
It just feels good. It feels genuine. I feel like, you know what I mean? My prayers are genuine, and they're for the Lord, and they're for, you know what I mean?
Do they work? Do your prayers work?
Yes, they do.
Oh. And what have you prayed for and it worked?
For me to come to realization of what I need to do in my life, give me a sign to kind of direct me into a better path, you know what I mean? And just for God to give me a sign, like give me a job to occupy my time and to make money and to become stable, because I kind of just got back out here, into the world, so, I was just praying for guidance, and then he did bless me with a job and, a place to stay. And kind of a way, he kind of paved a way for me, just be patient and don't look for it. It's going to come.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Especially if you believe that, you know what I mean? So that's all I really ask from the Lord.
Okay.
God. And for like health, you know what I mean? For like family health.
Are you in good health?
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
You been married?
No.
What happened to your woman?
No, I don't really do the relationship kind of thing.
You broke up with her?
Yeah.
And what happened? Why did you break up? Did you pray to God to let her stay with you?
No.
Oh,
No.
good.
I don't go to him for those kind of things.
Oh,
You know what
okay.
I mean? Yeah.
All right. Who know how to pray with faith? Amazing. So we're going to close. This is a gift to you. This is so good, so simple. Yes, you say you know how to pray with faith, right?
He hasn't his hand up first, but I mean, real quick.
Okay, hold on for the mic.
I feel as though the thing that brings us to prayer is a sense of worry. So when we pray about something and the worry goes away, then that's faith right there.
And then what happens when the worry come back?
Well, every day it's a daily challenge to keep on top of, daily struggles and faith, and to maintain that faith.
Oh, okay.
So
Trevor had his hand. Yes, you pray with faith, Trevor.
Yeah, I
How
really.
do you pray with faith?
I just surrender, man. I just let go of everything. Especially doing the silent prayer helps me doubt every thought. And, it's only the thoughts that bring in the doubts for me to not have faith. So I don't listen to any thoughts, and I just sit there and I be present with everything I hear. And because, like you said, everything happens in the presence of God. And that just allows me to be at peace. And
He's absolutely right.
And when I'm not praying, I have faith too,
Yeah, we got to end, so that's all we're going to rush you, but you're right about that.
And one more thing. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
So listen, here's my desire for you is to pray without doubting. And the way you pray without doubting, what Trevor said, when you be still and know God, as soon as you're done, Satan's going to start talking to you, tell you it's not working, you need to do this and do that. Doubt every thought. When you can doubt every thought, then you have faith in God. You have no other choice. That's the only thing that's left. When you doubt every thought, then you have faith. And then you don't have to ask God to be giving you a job or giving you this, because you become his son or daughter. He'll add all that unto you. Everything will be added to you. So when you pray, doubt every thought, then you have faith. It's amazing. That's how you have faith. That makes sense?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So he said, yes, makes a lot of sense. Just doubt every thought. I had to tell the camera, you don't have the mic. But when you pray, because it's not a feeling at all, as a matter of fact, feelings will be taken away from you. He wants you to have logic to see what's right and do what's right. So doubt every thought, and then you have faith. Anybody doubt? Anybody disagree? What do you think about that? Tell me your first name. I'm sorry, man. Chris, yeah. What do you think about that, Chris?
I think that's great. Yeah. I mean, I was also thinking, when I pray, I have a sense of like confidence in it. Confidence that the Lord is hearing me, and confidence that, if what I'm praying for is, righteous, it will be fulfilled.
Yeah.
And if it's not fulfilled, it's because it was not righteous.
And another thing to that is the Holy Spirit is praying for you. When you sit still and allow the Spirit to pray for you.
Sometimes He interrupts me. He interrupts me and replaces what I was going to say with something else. The Holy Spirit will interrupt whatever my
good.
flow of
Because
thought
you
is.
don't know what to pray for.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
Yeah, that's right. You absolutely don't know what to ask for. You don't know what to pray for. Because you can ask for a job or something, it's the wrong job. You get it, but you're like, well, I hate this job. I shouldn't have asked. So, yeah. But God will give you the perfect job. He'll add everything up to you. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So when you, in closing, folks, when you pray, doubt every thought. When Satan says not working, you're not sitting here long enough, you're this or that, just doubt it all. Or if he said, oh, you really had a good prayer then, doubt that too. All right? Doubt everything you hear. Every thought you get is a lie. That makes sense? Yes. Every thought you get, I don't care if somebody cursed you out yesterday, and then they came to church this morning, and you see them sitting there, and say, be like, look at them. They play it all holy. They just cursed you out yesterday. Don't pay any attention to that, because that person could have been one way yesterday, totally different today. Had a new change just like that. And my final question is to the, right here. If someone know your history, does that mean they know your future?
Oh my goodness. I didn't have my glasses on today, so I couldn't tell whether you were looking at me.
I'm looking at you.
Okay, so, absolutely not. I've always gone against the grain. I think that's one of the primary reasons why I'm here today with all you beautiful people.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to knowing yourself, and once you realize how little you know, you realize that other people don't know a damn thing at all.
Right.
Yes.
That's right. So if you know someone's history, that does not mean you know their future.
Well, I think
because a person can change just like that.
Someone's perception of you doesn't have to become your reality.
That's right.
Yes.
But the important thing is, I don't want you to judge people based on what happened yesterday or a few minutes ago, because people can change just like that. And then you're holding on to this judgment, and you're going to mistreat them because you judge them, and now you're angry at them, and you can't even see that they have changed. All right? So don't assume that at all. I can't take anymore. I'm so sorry, man. Yeah. Becomes totally out of time. Everybody rolling their eyes in the back. And so when you pray, doubt every thought, and then you have faith in God. And faith is not a feeling. It's a light unto your feet. All right? And then the last thing, when you have challenges, situations in life, don't name them. Just watch, that's what I said, be a living being and deal with it. Go through it with joy. It'll pass. All right? That makes sense, everybody? Yes. Anybody doubt that? What are you mad about? You mad at your husband? I can tell you mad at him. He won't even look at you. Why are you mad at him?
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
I'm actually sick, so that's why I'm also tearing up.
But why are you mad at your husband? Hold on, Mary.
I guess because like you were saying, I shouldn't be judging him on his past actions and assume that that's how he's going to be always. But I've also felt...
she just said she wasn't mad at him, huh? I'm not mad. I just have a cold. I'm crying because I have a cold.
I've been doing the silent prayer a lot.
Right.
And I had a realization the other night because we started arguing. And I said, you know what? I should just stop this argument and I'm going to leave. So I left. Because I don't want to argue anymore. I'm tired of arguing.
But you shouldn't leave either. You
Then
should
what do
be
I do?
still and overcome.
But
Because you're
if I
running away
stay, the
from it.
argument is going to be there.
So what now?
If I would have stayed, the argument would have continued.
No, let him argue by himself.
I wasn't the one who perpetuated the argument. I had no argument.
You're not on the mic. Hold on. Yeah. But listen, if you guys are having an argument and it goes on and on, you're like, I'm done with this. You stay there and face it so he can see himself. You don't have to argue. Just don't take it personally. It's on him and not you.
But I don't
But
think
if you run away, one thing I want to tell you all, if you run away from a situation, it's going to come back around in another way, and you're going to have to deal with it or run again. You have to make up your mind. You're going to put your feet on solid ground and deal with it or run, but you're going to have to deal with it at some point if you want to overcome. You cannot overcome until you deal with it. But anyway, why are you mad? That's why I give her the mic too. That's her husband. So you guys were arguing it and you left home?
No, I've been sick. I've been working a lot and I've been sick.
But why are you arguing with him?
Because he doesn't he doesn't keep his words.
Like
He
what, for
says he's
example?
going to do something and he doesn't do it.
Like what, for an example?
For example, I was in bed and I couldn't get up and I was sick, and he said, I'll be back in an hour. And that was at 5 o'clock. Then 6 o'clock came, then 7 o'clock came, then 8 o'clock came, then 9 o'clock came, and I was at home, and I couldn't get out of bed. I needed help, and he showed up at 10 p.m., and I was just like...
You had to go to the bar at Christmas time.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
he
didn't want to
did.
be coming back home. Is that true about what she said?
Part of it is true that coming later than I said I could come.
Why'd you do that?
Because I was sitting with executives at a house, and it took longer because people were late, and the people that we were waiting for were important people in my business. And I was in a safe, good place. I made phone calls to let her know I was running late.
You let her know that you
Oh,
were
yeah,
ready?
sure did. Yeah,
Did he
this
let
is-
you know?
He said, at 5 o'clock, he said, give me an hour. Then at 6 o'clock, he said, I'm getting close. I mean, I have the
Her memory's
text.
not as good as your
I
memory's
have
not
the
good.
evidence. I have the text messages
Okay.
saying, I'll be there in an hour. I'm getting
Yeah.
close to home. Don't worry, I'm good, I'm safe. And to me, it would have been simple if he just said, honey, I'm going to be there really late. Don't expect me to be home anytime soon. And I would have been like, okay, that's fine. But I kept waiting because he kept telling me, I'm coming.
But
I'll
is
be there
that
in an
possible
hour.
that he wanted to come, but the situation just didn't let him come home? That's why
That
he
would
was
have been
saying it?
fine if he was just honest with me and he just said, I won't be getting home anytime soon. I'm stuck with people. I would have understood that completely
I
because
have the
I'm not
perfect
crazy.
answer for you, a closing answer. What do you say to them, Doc?
I said, don't tell her anytime. Just go tell her you'll be back later.
But she was sick and he was going for the medicine. And she couldn't get out of bed.
She wasn't that sick. Number one, I cooked the soup for her sickness. I did everything I could to prepare her to be safe and comfortable, and you're not mentioning any of that. And it was there, but she chose to get in an Uber to go to her mommy's house while the soup was sitting there, and I said, you can get it yourself if you really need to, but she chose to go to her mother's place in Pasadena in an Uber with the dog in a suitcase, and all she had to do was get some soup and be happy that I'm safe, and I could have explained exactly what happened.
Did you do all that? I can't hear you. You did all that?
I did because
Well, you weren't that sick. I thought you couldn't get out of bed. How you gonna pack and then pat the dog and then take an Uber?
Thank you, Lord.
You know what I mean? So here's what I recommend for you.
Okay, let me just mention to you what gets me the most angry. It's the fact that he cannot be straightforward with me. If he said, I'm not coming home anytime soon, I would have been fine. The fact that he kept telling me, I'm coming, I'm getting closer. To me, that's like, okay, he's coming any time. He didn't show up for hours. Fine, I can get over that. The fact that he still drinks, knowing that his heart, he just had the surgery, we're trying to have a baby, and he says, I didn't drink, and he does
The
drink.
doctor said I
He
could have a glass
changes-
of wine.
But he
and I
doesn't
did.
have a glass. He
Because
has
you have
more
wine
than-
on your breath doesn't mean you're drunk, Jesse.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Jesse,
You
he
don't know.
drinks, and he drinks more than one glass of wine.
Okay, here's what how long you been married?
5 years.
5 years? Wow. Chris. Your name is Chris, right? Oh, I forgot it. Thank you for interning for us. It was so nice to have you there. I forgot to mention Chris was one of our intern. Thank you for that. Did you learn a lot hanging out with us?
Honestly, you brought my 2008.
Oh, let her have your microphone real fast.
You brought my 2018 year from like a 3 to about like an 8, just by association, whether it's here or in the office. It's like, it's been a blessing. And when I came for Christmas, the like love and care in the room, it was palatable. So my family, especially my dad, he hates this guy. He doesn't even want to meet you, right?
Hey,
and
I want to
told
meet her
him,
father.
seeing is believing. But honestly, this has been really nice, and I kept like, I don't know, I feel maybe like God kept waking me up this morning. Like I kept getting up at 5, 5:15, 6 o'clock. I wasn't planning on coming because I have like a bit of a rash on my face, and I think that's great that I'm sitting next to you because maybe she can like help me out and diagnose me.
Right.
But yeah, no, I felt like it was a calling to come, and this like such a great time to come, knowing how many other people are here for the first time as well. Yes.
Right on. Well, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you.
Thank you.
So here's a perfect answer to your situation. The next time your husband leave home, don't try to control him or his time at all. So if he says, okay, honey, I'll be back in an hour, just say, okay, fine. But then if he doesn't come back, then it's fine. It's your time to grow and develop patience. Because things happen when you're out there. You know, you can't always keep your word.
Of course.
And so don't try to control him at all. Your desire is to control him. If he want to drink, the doctor said, don't drink. But if he want to drink, let him drink. Just make sure he has insurance. But don't be mad about it. You're trying to control him. That's why you're getting upset.
I think I've just lost respect because he doesn't keep his word. And that is not the first time. And that's why when that happened that day, no, because he says he's going to do something and then he ends up doing completely the opposite.
What is it? What do I do now? We perpetuate this argument in front of everybody. I have kept my word so many times in 5 years. I have looked sideways. I've been a man trying to follow God and been a devoted, loyal husband. What else do you want? Things happen out there in the world. I stopped to go to the bathroom at the Four Seasons because I know the valet people there that like me because they didn't want to go to the bathroom at the house in the hills because the kitchen was right next to the bathroom and I was embarrassed. And that took an hour to get the car back and go home.
Listen,
things happen.
Yeah, let him. Don't hold on to him like that.
Yeah.
You don't own him.
No, I don't.
So don't try to control him at all.
That's why I left. That's why I said it's better that I just leave.
No, that's the wrong way. You can't run home to mommy. You got to stop being angry. Stop judging him.
I was going to go to a hotel. I just figured I'll go to my mom. So I
Don't judge anymore.
If you want
Nobody
to
should judge anybody.
Yeah, if you want to be together until death do you part, you got to stop judging him. You shouldn't even remember his past because it doesn't exist. You only remember what happened because you listened to Satan and you've judged him.
And I shared with her, Jerry. Jesse, I shared with her things that I shouldn't have.
Oh, yeah.
What happens?
Big mistake.
You told us not to do that with females.
And why'd you do it?
Because I wanted to be honest. I wanted to be a good guy. I bought into what they're trying to do to us now and take away our alpha male thing.
Beta.
Yeah. Not by nature, but I bought into it. I'm not interested in it anymore.
So she's mad about things you did before you met her?
No, she's creating the perpetual thing of then. The things that I did before I met her, we would have lasted a day. I've changed my life completely. Yeah. I'm completely dedicated. And this room's helped us. I hope it helps today.
Yeah, but let me just say, don't remember yesterday. It doesn't exist anymore. Only in your mind. And you're feeling this anger today as though it's still happening. And that's not what he's doing today. He's here at church with you today. But you're treating him like it's still yesterday. So you're missing everything right now. You really are. You got to let the anger completely go. And whatever he told you about his past that he should not have told you, you got to let it go. Otherwise...
I'm not holding on to his past at all. It's the
But you
actions
said he'd
of
never
him.
keep his word. That's holding on to his past. Because if something happened yesterday while he was out, that doesn't mean it's going to happen today. But you're treating him as though it's going to happen today. So you're not seeing that he's changed.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
When she left that night to her mother's for, I don't know why, I didn't come home to argue. All I was doing was defending myself on the phone to screaming. But when the whole day, that night and the next day and all night, I was reading, I read part of your book, I was reading, watching TV, relax, and I could have enjoyed that with my wife, but instead she chose to run, and I find that to be, it's
Yeah,
depleting.
you got to start. So you did go to your mother's house, right? You got to stop running.
It's the first time I've done that.
Well, don't
but
do it.
I did not want to argue and I did not want to fight.
Nobody wanted to
But you
argue
don't
with
have to. When you hear him say he doesn't want to do it either, but he can argue by himself. If he wants to argue, let him argue, but you have patience so he can see that he's wrong. And likewise with her.
I came home with no anger, Jesse.
Yeah.
I came home with no anger.
So stop the argument. That's why you're together, to work this out. You can't run to mommy.
I'm tired, Jesse. I'm just tired.
No, it's your resentment that got you tired, though. It's not the situation itself. It's your resentment that got you tired. Tell her, Joel. Joel knows.
I do have a question about it.
Yeah.
Just concerning the situation.
is the realistic and honest truth of the answer is to deal with the situation as it's going about, not be angry, let him be angry, da-da-da.
Or vice versa.
Right. But if you're in the fallen state and you know you're not there yet, is her best decision to leave because she knows herself and she knows that she's going to react?
No.
Or does she sit there and just react?
As long as they're not fighting and stuff like that, physically fighting, she needs to stay there and get to know herself.
And deal with the...
Because she's going to see herself in the situation,
right.
whether she's judging or being patient.
Right.
Otherwise, she run into her mother. Every time something happens, Satan's going to say, run to your mother. And you'll be running the rest of your life. And then you'll get with another man and you'll still be running.
It's been happening.
But if you
for a long
stay
time.
there and face it, you will overcome it.
You already started fighting on the phone.
No, we didn't fight on the phone.
Yes,
you
we
were screaming
did.
at me on the phone. There's a difference.
When don't scream, were you screaming?
I started screaming because yes, I did.
I wasn't.
But stop it.
Yes, you did.
Both of y'all stop. Don't scream and stuff.
Men don't scream. They're not supposed to scream.
But ain't
Sometimes
about
they
you.
stop. Stop. You've got to take responsibility too.
I do. I take.
What did you do
You ran
wrong?
away.
In close, I got to end. What did you do wrong in this situation?
What did I do wrong?
No, what did you do wrong?
What do I do wrong?
No, what did you do wrong?
I guess judged him.
Not guess. What did you do wrong? This is not Oprah.
Thank God.
I judged him.
Right. And so is it right to judge him?
I just don't like to deal with someone that's inebriated. I don't like to deal with him
Is
when
it
he's
right
had his
to
wine.
judge him? Is it right to judge him?
No.
Don't do that. Your problem, one thing I want to assure you, your problem is not him drinking. Your problem is not whether he's coming back when he says or not. Your problem is your judgment of him. That's what you're feeling. And so your whole, as Joel said, you're in a fallen state and everything is dark. Because Satan is talking to you and telling you, oh, see there, he's drinking, he did what he did before, the doctor said don't drink. And you're like, okay, Daddy, you're right. And you argue with him. You can't make him not drink or make him come home.
All he needed to do was.
No, it's not about him, it's about you. You need to drop your judgment. Because if you have a good situation here, you're going to mess it up with your judgment. And then once you guys break up, you're going to regret it because Satan walked away a little bit, let you see, oh, you had a good man, now you want to commit suicide. Your problem is not the situation, it's your judgment. How many people understand that? Yeah. It's not the situation. That's why you have the situation, so you can overcome the judgment. God tried to free you up, but Satan is trying to keep you there in the judgment. What do you think about that, Joel?
No, I agree. I agree with that. It's just, it's so easy to want to say, well, this is what he or she should have done.
But she doesn't want to see.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it should be focused on what did I do?
That's right.
Right, I agree.
Right. Satan doesn't want you to know yourself. He wants you to be mad at him so he can destroy you. Your situation is not about what he did or did not do. It's about your judgment of him. Really. It's not a big thing that he didn't come home. And you wasn't that sick. You packed the dog in the bag and you ran to mama. You were just playing like you were that sick to control him, to get him back at a certain time, get him home. And he didn't come home. I'm going to mama. Do you live close to your mama?
Not really.
Did you go to Puerto Rico this year?
No.
So why did you go to your mother?
I didn't want to fight. I'm done with the fighting and the arguing and the screaming and the
drop the
cursing.
resentment. Drop the resentment. The fight will stop.
Yeah.
It really will. It'll change your life like you can't even imagine.
Yes, I agree.
I just think it's interesting how, yes, I get what you're saying, but I'm a good wife. I'm devoted. I work
You're not a
hard.
good wife.
Okay.
Good wives don't judge, and good wives don't run to mama.
It's the first time I've done
Your
it.
commitment is to your husband, not to mama. And your mama's never going to tell you the right thing. She's going to make your situation worse. That's right, you ought to leave him. He's going to die anyway. Look at him drinking. The doctor told him not to drink, and now you matter. Where if you had stayed home and overcome your anger, you could see clearer and it'd be fine.
We would have yelled a lot.
No, you don't know that.
If you yell, you're the yeller.
But-
Jesse,
but no,
please
no.
let me say one thing.
What?
I've never come home in 5 years once angry at her. Once I've come defensive when she screamed at me. I've never walked in the door angry at all.
Is that true?
Never.
Is that true? We should have gotten on this earlier. I knew you looked mighty tight-lipped back there for some reason. Is that true?
Obviously, he doesn't come angry when he's tipsy. Why would he come angry when he's tipsy?
No. Is it true?
You can't get away with it anymore.
Is it true that he never come home angry?
Never.
Is it true?
I can't think of one
So he's
situation.
never come, in 5 years, he's never come home angry.
Never.
Right?
I can't think of a situation off the top of my head.
Never.
That's amazing. You got to drop your anger. It's probably with you. Really, really is. You don't know yourself, and you're allowing Satan to control you. It's not about him. It's really not about him. If he is out there drinking or doing whatever he does, he's not supposed to be doing it. Wish him well, and whatever happens, he have to deal with
So
it.
you're saying that staying in a marriage where the husband's just doing his thing, then that's okay. I should just let him be,
And so
basically.
Satan just told you all of that. Stop listening to your head. You listen to your head right now.
Ego is killing you, man.
Isn't that right?
Ego is killing you.
What is that? What?
That it's the, oh,
Let her have the mic, real fast. Sorry about this, y'all.
Sorry,
I should have gone to this situation a long time ago.
so just in listening to this, it's really the ego that's driven, and the
Yes.
ego that's driving this is who's right. I'm right. It's the sense of I'm right and you're wrong.
Yes.
And that ego is what's driving you to be blinded by what's really there. And it's whenever you make it about someone else, it's really about yourself.
It's
and
about
whenever you
yourself.
make it about yourself, you got to make it about somebody else. It's just that's the way I've always seen it.
Yes. It's not about your husband, it's about you. You got judgment, you got hatred in your heart. You're trying to control. And he's not going to let you control him. Because if he lets you control him or he control you, he'll be a beta and you won't want him. You'll be over to mama's house looking for a real man. An alpha male, not a beta male.
First day we came here, she called me a beta male right to your face.
Oh yeah, I remember.
But guess what? It stopped. And I don't want to control her, but I'm not doing it. It's
Yeah.
not healthy.
I'm telling you, it's with you, not with him. You got all these judgments on him, what he should and should not be doing, how he should be acting, what he should be saying. You can't control another person like that. You can't even control your own life. God control your life, or Satan. So it's you, not him. Let him be free. Your husband is not free because you're like the KKK. You got your eyes on him.
Well, that's why I left, because I said I should just let him be. Maybe this is not working.
No,
I
what's
didn't
wrong
want her
with
to
you,
leave.
girl?
I was right
Did you
there.
have some of his wine today?
No.
So I'm telling you not to leave. You should face and know yourself. You should stop being angry and let your husband be free. It's not a big deal.
I was coming home happy. Can I say something?
Especially if
please?
he has some wine.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit. Jesse, can I say this?
Last one, we got it, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
I was sitting in a family home with huge executives. Get a meeting with these guys for 6 months. They invited me to their private world. It's something for my business that I've never done. So I went with decent human beings that were talking about life and their business.
But that's not the situation, because you can never prove to her that that's what you were doing.
Right.
She got to drop her judgment on
That's
you.
right. I know.
Do you understand that? You got to drop all judgment. You have no right to judge him. And whatever he told you in the past that he should not have told you, you got to let that go too. It's unfortunate that he told you that, because you're going to always remember that and judge him. Isn't that right?
I'm aware that I shouldn't do that. Yes.
Yeah, but are you doing the silent prayer?
I am.
Okay, do the
That's
prayer.
why that night I had this overwhelming peace, and I said, I shouldn't stay in here because it's going to be chaos and it's going to be madness.
That was Satan told you that. See, you doing the prayer, you had the overwhelming peace, and then Satan like, no, you shouldn't stay here. Your husband's going to be late. And you're thinking that's you. That's not from God, and that's not from you. That was Satan. You should let all those thoughts pass. God would never tell you anything like that. He's not going to give you peace and then give you hell. That's not from God.
It's because I don't want to control him anymore that I
Then
felt
stop
like I should
judging
just
him.
let him go.
No, stop judging him. That's how you let go.
Judgment and anger
What's
kills
wrong?
everything, man.
The new doctor going to tell you, then we close. What's wrong with her?
I agree with your assessment and everyone's assessment. I do think that it's an issue with how she's thinking and perceiving the situation.
Yeah.
So she just needs to look inward.
You'll be surprised what's going to happen when you let all thoughts go, that you were living in this darkness and had no idea it made you do things you wouldn't ordinarily do. You're about to mess up a good marriage because you listen to lies. And I don't want to see that happen, but if it happens, it has to happen. But you're about to mess up a marriage. You really, really are. Do you understand that? You got to doubt every thought. So that wasn't God that gave you peace and then gave you hell. He wouldn't do that. He only gives peace. He doesn't give hell. Satan brings the hell upon you. And so you got to let it go. All right. Is this your first time here? Yes. Oh, I'm glad to see you, man. What's your name?
Eric.
Eric, any question?
How much time have we got?
Just want to say one thing real quick.
Oh, okay. I got to end it, and then I'll ask you. Hold on to the mic. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and you all for coming. I absolutely appreciate it. Happy New Year to all of you, everybody. It's been really great this year. Thank you for it. Thank you for your support, for intern, for volunteer, just all kinds of things happened this year. Thank you for that. And don't forget, welcome your situation. Don't try to get situated. They'll come on their own, but don't be mad about them, all right? And let every thought go, and make sure you do the silent prayer, and it's going to be fine. Know thyself. Know thyself. It's about you. It's not about the other person. Never. Never about the other person. Always about you. And I wish all of you and all of you here, I wish you well for next year, the best of life. Yes, Dave?
Men's Forum Thursday, right?
Oh, yeah. This coming Thursday is the first Thursday of the year and of the month, right?
Yeah.
So we are having the men's forum this Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. LA time. And then the third Thursday for ladies only, 7 p.m. LA time. Anything else? And we will be back on the radio Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. All right? Because the office is closed until the 2nd. But we will be on radio. Don't forget to donate. We need your support. So make sure you donate, folks. We need it. All right? God bless you. Merry Christmas. Oh, not Merry Christmas no more. Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you all.